I'm Zach,
I'm Drew.
and this
is Oak Tree Dreams.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Oak Tree Dreams. We just, as you can see, got done fixing our tree stands. We put up a killing tree for my soon-to-be wife. She's going, and it's a pretty promising stand, we think. It's a little further than I want her to shoot. It's about, the furthest is probably 30 yards, 25 most, or shortest, but she's a good enough shot. She'll definitely do a great job. Today, we're going to be doing a little Q&A, tips and tricks kind of thing, like we promised you guys. What topic you want to start off with? Oh, before I forget, I'm Drew.
I'm Zach.
Okay.
You don't see me very much.
He's in Platteville. And behind the camera, we got Gary.
What's going on, guys?
He's another member. So I guess, what do you want to start off with? What topic did you have that you should go over quick?
How about we start off with buck shaming?
That's a really good topic, actually. There's a lot of it going on, especially on social media. Grown adults and younger people shooting any size buck, really. I mean, whether it's, you know, those giant ones we chase or a fork, people start putting others down when it's a small buck to make them feel better about the small bucks they shoot. Because in reality, the people that are shaming are the ones that still do it themselves. Damn, this gnat. Me personally, Oak Tree Dreams is founded on shoot what makes you happy. Yes, we go after big bucks, and that's ultimately our goal here. It's just, if a 120-inch buck walks out and he looks nice to me, or him, or my fiance, or Gary, or anyone, we'll probably shoot. As long as, I mean, to me, as long as it gets my heart pumping and I feel like a kid on Christmas morning coming down those stairs or down the hall out of their room, I'm probably going to shoot, because that's what it's all about. If it's a trophy in your eyes, you take it. Don't listen to anyone else. There's going to be a lot of people that put you down for shooting one, saying it should have had another year, or that's a young buck. But in reality, everyone does it. Everyone shoots smaller deer. Everyone eventually can shoot a big deer. It's just, the more experience you have shooting deer, especially getting that practice in with bucks, the better you're going to be when that world-class 200-inch buck, if it ever comes out for you, you'll be a little bit more comfortable taking that shot and not so jittery. You want to add anything to that?
I'd say basically, like, we always did it our way, whereas, like, when we first came out in the woods, if you're a first-time hunter, we always would shoot, like, pretty much, like, not any buck, but, like, any buck that was going to make us happy. And since it was our first deer, so at that point, like, once it's our first deer, we always believe that as long as it's going to make you happy, and if
Really, no matter the size. I mean,
any of the size.
button bucks, really no, unless it's on accident in thinking it's a doe.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens. We've had that happen, but
And everybody has always they've seen, like, ground shrinkage where they say that they shoot this big buck and then it's not as big as you thought it was when you get up to it, but they'll feel bad about it. But you shouldn't still feel bad about it, because when you shot it in the tree stand, you thought that it was a big buck and you liked the way that it looked for you, so you should be happy with that.
And you shouldn't shame people if they do shoot they thought it was bigger and it turned out to be, you know, just breaking the 100-inch mark. I mean, you don't know, I guess, their life and what makes them happy. And if they have a busy schedule like us, I mean, this year, really, any buck that is, for me, probably to the ears for myself, or that I think just looks cool, I will probably shoot, because I work all the time. I only have off every other weekend, and with him being in Platteville all the time, and he, 5 times maybe?
Yeah, that's probably all that I'll get out this year because of college, but
We probably won't be too picky, but like I said, next year there's something big happening that we're going to be going into, which we can't say yet, because we got a whole year of great hunting ahead of us. But yeah, I think we covered that topic pretty well.
do you want to talk about our food plot we just put in?
Oh yeah, we just put in a food plot. It's not a big one, probably half an acre, if that.
Yeah,
I
probably
think
that.
it's about half an acre. The farmer, before we got the because it was our field, he was renting it from us. We took back the field so we could finally get food plots in there and whatnot, because as you can see, it's secluded by corn and everything else, so we're pretty good on this, what's that word? Secluding their food source.
Yeah.
And it's...
So there's a bunch of winter rye around
Oh, yeah.
the whole outside of it. And so basically, even when this cornfield behind us gets cut down, there's still going to be winter rye all the way around the food plot, so that it's still going to be secluded even after this cornfield gets cut down in the fall.
And we've kind of noticed when deer have, especially food plots or any food source, really, if it's secluded, like the one we have back there, here's a little video of us tilling up the field, and it kind of gives a perspective of what we're talking about. But it's tucked away just in the right spot. Even without that ryegrass, we probably still would be okay. But it just gives the deer an extra barrier and that safety factor for them that they really prefer. We planted winter peas, radishes, all throw and grow. We tilled it though.
Mm-hmm.
But that winter rye we had to get out of there. So we got it out of that one spot. Like I said, winter peas, radishes. Winter peas are new to us though. We're trying that this year. They're coming in pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I didn't say this. We've had a kind of a 3-week drought, 4-week. We got like one spurt of rain at night here and there, but as you can see, I mean it's pretty dusty out here. So it's growing for more than I thought actually, with the little rain we've had. A couple days of rain coming up here, so hopefully that. Hear that laugh? That was weird. Hopefully that's in the video. I don't know what that was, but that was weird. But yeah, and we got what's that called? Rape grass? Sorry about that. That's not what it's called. But
yeah, it's a type of grass, yes.
And deer really don't like it. We've come to find out, but it kind of gives it that green factor, especially for in winter. And they eat it more in the winter times than they do summer or fall season, like the early fall. You want to talk a little bit about stand placement?
Yeah, I guess so. So like basically, mostly as of right now, we're all ladder stand, in the exception of one of them, which is a hang-on one that we just put up today, like he was talking about for him and his soon-to-be wife. And so that's just, we put the ladder stand above we put the hang-on stand above the ladder stand so that he can sit up there and he can record the hunt for her first time.
We usually do self-filming a lot.
Yeah.
That's the thing that we're really used to, is self-filming, because we split up so we have the better chance of getting hopefully a buck to come walking by, which we do.
Yeah.
It might not be the giant. We usually see the giant when we're walking to a stand that we haven't sat in however long, or just some weird stuff. That's when we see the big ones. We do see them in the stand, but they're usually walking their safety route that we call. It's a logging road that's like really thick. I mean, it's overgrown now. What we look for really in stand placements is, especially the one stand, the double, we kind of moved it back a little bit. That's on that logging road, security road kind of thing. It's between two bedding areas, and the food source is outside of it, the small field where we put the food plot. And especially like from the end of October to, heck, even gun season, there's bucks in there all the time. They're cruising on that logging road, and they follow, there's like a little, I call it a shelf, but it's like not really a shelf. It comes across, that's where our stand's at. And I don't even know how to describe it. We see a lot of buck activity, deer activity in general.
Yeah.
And then the one we put up is down below that in the valley, where it's pretty much just a funnel coming through from their bedding to food source. It's pretty close to the double, but it gives us a different perspective so we can get closer to where they are, especially this time of year. They're not really hitting that thick bedding area as much. And then you guys seen in older videos, we have a stand way on this other bluff over here. And that's just in a thicket. We pretty much hunt that during the gun opener and during the rut, because that's where the bucks are usually at.
Plus, we always wait for the corn to get down before we go over there. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much untouched until like late October, early November.
If we want to walk through the corn, we will, because we've had success with that. It's just getting the buck back over here would be the challenge. what else?
You want to talk about scent control? What we do?
Oh yeah, scent control. We're big believers in it. We probably don't do the best job we could do, really, especially when we get to the stand. This year we're going to be trying phase 3. It's when you get to the stand, it's like a foamy substance, and we're not sponsored by them. It's just we've been watching videos from Deer Society and can't remember the other one. Sorry about that, and it's a foam substance. You put it in your hands, you rub it on your hair, your face, because when you walk to the stand, we all sweat a little bit usually, unless it's negative out, but there's some sort of sweat at all times, and it's a game changer. It's supposed to be for when bucks are downwind. All the stuff I've heard on it is great, so we're gonna try it out ourselves. And we use Scent Away for washing our clothes before season, and I have a little ritual. There's a little evergreen bush kind of thing looking, and I every time before I go in the woods, because we got a lot of pine trees and evergreens out in our woods, and I kind of like rub in it and kind of like lay on it and stuff, so I smell like it. I don't know, it's just some, I guess, little ritual I do to make myself feel better. You do about the same stuff for my ritual.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, just spray down really good.
We
even
do
if you
spray.
have to take your time walking to the stand so you don't sweat immensely.
That's why we really don't hunt early season ever,
Yeah.
because it's just hard between the heat and the deer movement.
Mosquitoes.
Yeah, mosquitoes. This year the mosquitoes aren't bad out here, though,
Yeah.
really. But this year we're going to try it. September 19th, our very first day out, unless it rains. We're going to, me and my soon-to-be wife will be going out for her first ever hunt, so like I said, stay tuned for that. Should we talk about pre-rut strategies? And because I mean that's coming up too here in October.
Yeah, that's fine.
What we do personally, we mainly hunt one section really until the rut or when the corn's down. Then we kind of venture out into the other property we hunt. Pretty much the biggest thing we look for, since we only hunt towards the end of October normally, is where you're going to be more in line to see a buck cruising through, marking his territory, I guess. Especially if you have a bully buck. We used to have one like that, the one high five that I shot. He was on all the cameras. He was fighting all these bucks. Celebrity, he fought a lot. That our neighbor killed. We showed that. And
Sports Center.
and during the preseason or pre-rut, especially the early pre-rut, we don't really rattle as much. We will grunt here and there, especially just like a contact grunt, so the buck knows there's someone else here. Especially if you're reading his body language and kind of seems like he's looking for not trouble, but to start something to make sure his area is safe. We don't shoot too many does in bow season. We usually just wait till about gun season because, as you know, I can only shoot does. I've shot one buck. I'm happy about it. That was a really nice buck I shot. But we will rattle like more towards the end of October when it's just before you probably want to. But we don't rattle hard. We, do the 1 sec.
Celebrity walked over quite a few miles to Elroy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The black rag. I believe in it. He believes in it. We've called in several bucks with it. I've shot that high five buck with it. He came in on a dime. One I shot on, what was it, Veterans Day when it was like -11, November 11th. He actually rattled him in. I was sitting in the valley stand while he was in the double because we had nowhere else really we wanted to get to that morning. But pretty much right away in the beginning, all we do, especially in early season, is so it's when they contact and just a little tickling. That's really about it for maybe 5 minutes, if that, especially preseason. But during the rut, that's when we get really aggressive, and I'm not going to do it now, but that's when you crash into them as hard as you can and just rattle. That's about the best I can describe it. and you're a little bit more in depth into that. We kind of hunt more of like especially pre-rut. We hunt in that early season. We try and hunt where the white oaks are and red oaks for the acorn,
Acorns are dropping. Yeah.
because we find that's the best place to be, especially if you're going to hunt before that. When you consider the pre-rut, I guess, that and water sources. I mean, water sources, if nothing else, if you have a water source, go there, find a trail. You can almost guarantee the deer are going to come through there, especially with how hot it's been here lately.
Mm-hmm.
We're under, what, 20 days? Or are we at 20 days today?
For what?
Bow season. I think it's 20 days.
I don't know.
20 days. I'm going with that. I hope. Yeah, we're excited. We got all the work done. We got to go check trail cam pics. What'd you say, 1,200 something?
1,200 on one camera. Yep.
And that's over a month. So we're hoping that big Tex comes back through. I just named him. I'll show you. And hopefully we got some surprises too. I mean,
yeah.
I would be happy at this point to see a couple more bucks, but right now we do have a good lineup for this year.
Mm-hmm.
We have a hunt and cook coming up in a couple days. So hopefully this helps a little bit. If you guys want to know anything more,
just leave a comment down below.
Comment down below, and we'll answer it. I'm gonna be doing some my own tips here, just randomly. Watch for those videos on certain topics, more in depth though, and it's probably more in depth with the rut tactics. I'll probably be doing a lot of that, and yeah. So hopefully you guys don't forget to like and subscribe this video, please. We appreciate all the support we've gotten right now. We're ecstatic with how many people are following us. So until next time, I'm Drew.
And I'm Zach.
I'm
This is
Gary.
Oak Tree Dreams.